What's up, guys? We have another loss on the board for the Patriots. Here is some of that offensive film, and honestly, not that bad of a performance. Patriots rushed for 116 yards on 24 attempts. That's good for 4.83 yards per attempt. Pretty good numbers there. Drake May had another great game. He finished 19 for 23 on his throws for 202 yards, a touchdown, and an interception that was Kayshon Boutte's fault. We all know that. They finished with 17 points, but left 10 points on the board probably. Joey Sly missed that field goal at the beginning of the game, and then the turnover on downs on that short field in the red zone. You're at least getting 3 there, if not 7. And then if you put up 27 points, are we really talking about how bad Alex Van Pelt was? No, and that's been a thing for a couple weeks now. But anyways, here's some good, here's some bad. I got a couple plays I want to show you guys. All right, the first play here is towards the beginning of the game in the first quarter, and we're backed up. It's third and wicked long, and you guys are going to remember this one. It was the play where Pop Douglas catches the ball across the middle, fumbles it, Kendrick Bourne catches it and runs for it. But I wanted to show this play for 2 reasons. This was a really good play by Alex Van Pelt, and just how bad Kendrick Bourne screwed this up for us. So let's take a look. Here you're going to see Pop Douglas come across the screen, the top to the bottom, catch it, mayhem happens, bad stuff happens. But let's take a look at the blocks here, because the Cardinals were playing man coverage all game. So if you look at the bottom of the screen here, you have a 3-on-3 here. Get a block there, a block there, a block there. And Pop Douglas has a lot of space to work with. But watch Kendrick Bourne in the middle miss his block. And then Pop obviously gets tackled, fumbles the ball. And it turns into a negative play. And you know, you probably don't get the first down there, but there is a chance you do if the wide receivers are able to block their players. And Kendrick Bourne really screwed up there. So, good play call by Alex Van Pelt against man coverage. He knew they were going to have one-on-one situations, and if the receivers just held their blocks, you have a good outcome there. So, poor effort by Bourne there, screw up. Next, we're going to fast forward to the second quarter. And the rest of these are run plays, and this is something I've been saying all season, but the Patriots are better at power running. Not the zone bull crap, just helmet on helmet, man on man, who wants it more. We've had success doing it this year, and here's an example of this. There was several plays throughout the game that could have been here, but I didn't want to show all of them, trying to keep this shorter. But here is midway through the second, and you're going to have Onwenu pulling, and great blocks by Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper on the left side. If you watch the left side of the line here, that's where Onwenu pulls to, and where you get the good blocks by Hooper and Henry. So Hooper's going to block down, Henry's going to go second level, and Onwenu takes care of his guy. And you got 10 yards there. And honestly, you can't ask for much more on a power run. That's ideal situation there. Everyone's succeeded in their assignment. And you get 10 yards out of it. That is perfect on that type of play call. And really good play call by Alex Van Pelt again against that front. It was an ideal matchup there in that front for that call. So, again, Alex Van Pelt has had his fair share of terrible play calls, but two really good ones right there. The guy's not all bad. And whether you want to debate if he should be here next year or not, that's up to you. But two solid play calls right there by Alex Van Pelt. This one is going to be in the second half of the game. This is a good example of our zone blocking. But there wasn't really much of it. This is a good one. Demontre Jacobs almost completely screws up this whole play, which is really hard to do because he basically has to touch his guy and he's good with his block, but almost manages to do it. Take a look. Really good flow from the offensive line here. Good double team by Nwenu and Ben Brown. And Gibson finds space to get upfield for 9 yards. Watch Jacobs on the end here if he didn't the first time. Barely touches his guy and it almost ends up being a tackle for a loss. That would set up the 3rd and 1, which we wouldn't get, and the 4th and 1, which we wouldn't get, which would turn into the turnover on downs, which is now what I'm going to get. Actually, we're going to get into that later. This, I wanted to show Vidarian Lowe first because he had a terrible game. And Vidarian Lowe, a guy I had my fair share of bad things to say about, but showed improvement this year and was proving to be kind of reliable, at least. Not terrible, I should say, but he played awful in this game. Here's a couple of plays. This first one right here, he's going to be on your screen right there if you'll see. So the rusher lined up in a 9 technique on the outside there. That is his responsibility. And I don't know if this shifting kind of screwed him up, but why are you taking an inside step there? Why do you need to set to the inside? The guy's way outside. He barely touches him, if at all, and the guy blows up the play in the backfield. All Vidarian Lowe has to do there is take one step back and at least get one hand on that rusher and push him off course. And Stevenson is at least getting a couple yards probably, or there's less people in the backfield not blowing up the play. So really simple thing to do there for Lowe, and he screwed that up, which is frustrating. So what does he follow it up with? Well, let's take a look. This is the very next play, and we have Lowe here again. Same situation, different rusher, lined up in a 9 technique, and this is on a pass, and Lowe just takes a terrible angle to try and block him. He steps out to the side there too much instead of stepping back, and again, barely touched the guy, if at all, and he just had a free lane to Drake May. Just terrible blocking by Vidarian Lowe, and almost got May killed. So, awful day for Lowe, which sucks to see. He was showing promise. Next, we have the 3rd down and 1 in the end zone. First play is completely on Layden Robinson. It's 100% his fault for this. Just really bad job by Robinson. Let's take a look. So you'll see Robinson at left guard right here and just completely gets bitched by that guy, and he blows up the play completely. So if Layden Robinson just stands in front of that guy, doesn't even have to push him back, Antonio Gibson probably gets the first down there, and then we're dealing with a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line at least, or at most I should say. So I would assume we'd get 7 points there, and we're talking about a whole different ball game at that point. Unfortunately, Layden Robinson also had a terrible game and is proving that he's another Elliott Wolf bust right next to Jalen Polk. Not been a good season for him. And then we ended up turning the ball over on 4th down. I didn't even bother to show that one. But this last one I want to show is Ramondre Stevenson. His vision hasn't been that good the past couple weeks, and I think it's because he's so used to dancing with people on the opposing team right in front of him that he doesn't really have to look for open holes because there's never any available to him unless it's happens to be right where he's running straight towards. But take a look at this last play I want to show. It's going to be good, decent blocking to the left here, a little pitch to the left. And right here, look at all that space he has to cut up. This was the 4th and 1 where, for some reason, AVP decided to run to the outside, and Ramondre ends up getting it. But he could have cut it upfield and gotten a lot more there. And again, that's a terrible play call by Alex Van Pelt. He overthought the shit out of that because he was probably like, oh, they're expecting us to run up the middle, so we're going to run all the way to the boundary. Well, just keep it simple. Who cares if they think you're going to run right up the middle? Just do it anyways and be better than the other team. But nonetheless, I did want to point that out, not only for Alex Van Pelt's play call there, but Ramondre Stevenson had a great chance to cut that up and didn't there. But offense, again, a problem on Sunday. It's been a problem all year, as proven throughout the year by my videos. But this was not the worst and not the best of the season. Like I said, we left a lot of points on the board. And now we have the Buffalo Bills. I think it's going to be a shootout, so I'm expecting us to put up more than 17 points. But a lot to work on after this. I'm also going to post a video about defense, so you can take a look at that film. But that's all I got for offense. I'll catch you guys next week with some more film.